Heaven must be missing an angel, an angel. Such a beauty, but she's so humble, humble.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Crystal One-on-One. I am Crystal and I'm chatting with Judithiana. Today we're already at it. She's already telling me about experiences as a makeup artist. I have to bring you up to speed. But welcome.
Thank you.
You see, we've already gone.
I know. You're so easy to chat with, and then you had a calming effect of, because I was so nervous. I was like, oh my God, I'm always on that other side, and now I'm going to be on this other side.
Yes.
I kept saying, oh my God, what am I going to say? But then you had this calming effect. You're like, then we talked about it, we chatted about it. So yeah, I'm
so
now
nice
ready.
to have you, and you look gorgeous.
Really? Thank you.
White. So you're saying you've had so many experiences as a makeup artist that can make or break you, I think.
Yes.
And in one particular case, you were broken down properly.
Yeah, so first of all, this bride that I was working on was so dear to my heart because I'd worked on all. Have you ever met like a clique of girls, a group of girls, and they're all friends? So her wedding is done, and then she's the maid of honor for this one, and then her wedding has come, and then she's the maid of honor for this one. We're up, we're ready, we're starting to do makeup and everything. We've worked from like 4:30 a.m. till 4 p.m. This is the time this guest came through. She's a member of parliament. I don't remember her name, luckily.
Okay.
So then she comes in and says, I want my makeup done. And I'm like, with all due respect, you could even see I was tired.
That's like 12 hours straight.
Yes, we had not eaten anything. We had not sat down because everybody was coming on and off. Good thing they were paying, but we went on. So the time she came up, we were like, and we had already I'd even talked to the bride about it. I was like, listen, this is the last person. I can't have anybody else. I appreciate the money. I love you and you know it, but we can't take in anyone else. And already the event, the gig was full day service. Full day service is when I come in the morning and stay with you till evening, till you change into your last dress. Hustle.
Hi.
Hustle.
Those are really long hours, huh?
Thank you, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
So, when you said, no, madam, I'm sorry, I can't work on you.
She's like, are you stupid? Do you know who I am? I am a member of parliament. I can finance you, finance your life, finance everybody in your family. Who do you think you are? She got out money, bundles, like new notes that she had gotten perhaps from Bank of Uganda and threw them at me. Yo, man, like the things you do for hustle. Yo, I was like, does this woman know that no one handed me, not even my father gave me money for a startup, or my mother or a family friend. First of all, I was polite when I told you I cannot because I'm tired and I don't feel well. And
you probably even knew you weren't going to do a good job, and then that would just be a bad thing. I mean, she'll say, can you imagine this girl doesn't even know how to do makeup?
I can't, Krista, I can't explain what I felt like, but I know I walked away and I cried. That was the first time I was meeting her. Like, I could finance you, I could watch your nothing. Look at, she literally, I don't even know what to say. It was so condescending. I don't think anyone has spoken to me in that manner.
People forget how important meetings are, and first impressions are. And also, respect is earned. There's this perception that because you are so and so, or you're a certain age, you deserve to be respected. No, respect is earned and reciprocated.
But it was painful. I remember I wailed. I talked to so many friends and I was like, I don't even know why I'm doing this, but I love it.
I told you we were so in it. Even before we started, we were in it. Okay, let's go back.
Okay, let's take it back.
You are Ugandan.
Yes, I am.
Have you ever met people who think you're not Ugandan?
All the time. I got blasted on social media. Hey, during the age limit situation. What? We need to be very careful. Of course, and I remember...
why are people blasting you?
And I remember my manager telling me, Judith, I think you need to go slow on politics. Like, you can't just go in. But at that time, I just started doing a breakfast show. So I'd started to think like that and start reading and paying attention to, stay conscious to what's happening around me, not just socially, but economically, politically, and whatnot.
And you felt comfortable to vocalize.
And I put my thoughts, not really my thoughts, I don't remember what it was about. And someone was like, you Kenyan, who tells you you can come into our country and tell us what to do? Let's see.
some working in Kenya, there's some working in Tanzania
No,
as well?
the working was in Tanzania.
In Tanzania.
So, how do I start?
Okay,
that
so
story?
you were born here.
Yes, I was born here.
Where?
I was born in where I grew up.
Yeah.
Yes, the hospital is Namirembe Hospital.
Okay.
And then Najana Nkumbi, you know, in Teba Road.
Yeah,
before
yeah.
You get to, yes,
Yeah.
before you get to Zana.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that's where I was raised there.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. And with your family?
Yes, mom, dad, 3 sisters, 3
sisters.
brothers.
Wow! 3
Yay.
sisters, 3 brothers.
Yes.
And you were number?
Second last born.
Second last born.
Yes, and the youngest girl.
Did you ever feel forgotten? Because you're as if middle
I'm
child.
I'm actually really, growing up, I started to appreciate being the second last born or the youngest girl. Because it came at a point where my mom stopped working, she was not well, she had diabetes and pressure, and kept keeping her out and inside work and whatnot. So my sisters really stood out. Like when I felt like my mom wasn't present because she was sick and she was not well, and you know, like I couldn't put all that pressure on her like my sisters. But that was mostly through campus and through like maybe high school, like A level.
school,
Yes,
A-level.
yes,
All right, so your 3 older sisters?
yes. 3 older
All
sisters.
stepped in. Are they much older than you?
Yes.
Well, how long was your mom sick?
My mom has been unwell on and off for close to 15 years.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So I can imagine the diabetes, because if it was keeping her in and out of work, and diabetes can be really...
Diabetes, that was a crazy one, because you know sometimes it also affects her mentally, and that's such a difficult place to see your mom, somebody who you could talk to and tell, and now you can like have a proper conversation with her. It was tight.
Oh my
It was tight,
goodness.
yeah.
Even now?
She's absolutely fine, and to be honest, I don't even know at what point, because I think we got so used to her not being well, that we didn't notice when there was like a real shift until later on we were like, oh my God, actually we can have a conversation with mom and she actually gets it. Basically the only problem she's been having, the pressure, but not so many times, and we would not ever tell her anything, would never tell her anything. My mom would never know anything.
Because you didn't want her to get stressed or anything.
Like there's so many moments, like difficult moments that any of us went through that she never got to know about, because we were mindful.
Yeah.
We were mindful. We were
That means you had
protective
to
of
grow
her.
up quite fast as well. That's a lot of
And
responsibility.
like I said, the big sisters help. The big sisters are big brothers.
Because you could turn to them.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
So it was easy.
That's
It was
amazing.
easy. Yes, yes.
Oh
it
my
was.
goodness.
It was amazing.
Was it a change of lifestyle for her? Was it a change in medication? I know a lot of prayer, of course.
As in for her healing?
Yeah, for diabetes, because diabetes, you know.
So I do have this prayer journal at home where I write different things. So I remember writing a couple of things. One was being, I'll share that with you when I get there, because I feel like I'm almost there. God is almost taking me there. And then the second one was God to totally heal my mother. Totally heal my mother. And you know what they say, that we never pay attention to, we always pay attention to the other big prayers where we spend hours fasting and whatnot, but we don't pay attention to these other small ones where you just sit down and be like, God, please do this for me, or just have a conversation with God, like a light, casual conversation with God.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I feel like it's what I wrote in that journal, because I don't know, but I just feel it. I just feel like, because of the way I wrote the dates, and I remember saying it, first of all, God, thank you so much for everything that you've done for me. You've blessed me and my family. You've been there for me. You've raised me, literally. Now, it's so heartbreaking to see my mom on and off, sick every now and then. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, after this, we're going to move on from mommy. Mommy is a very touchy subject
I
for me.
know, for
Yeah.
everybody. For
Yeah.
everybody.
All right. All right.
But it's a beautiful thing.
I'm done crying, you guys. I don't usually cry, Ever since, I say it's a prayer journal, because ever since I wrote that, there's been like a gradual change, like a huge change, until we noticed that she was actually okay, but we didn't notice it. It shook us, which is,
just like all of a sudden, right?
Yes, because even the medication changed. Now it was not injections or tiny little pills. Now it was not, you know what I mean? Like things changed, and she didn't have to go see the doctor. The doctor would be like, just buy this medication. And then the doctor kept reducing the medication. And then, to be honest, I don't even remember the last time they called me and say, you guys, today we went to the doctor and things were like this. Because we would take mom in turns. This time it would be like Queenie, and then that time it would be Kathy, and then time it would be me. Yeah, so mom is absolutely fine. Mom is absolutely fine.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yes.
I know it was emotional to get that out, but
man,
gratitude is powerful.
Yes.
And
To
we're
be honest,
sharing that with you.
Thank you for healing my mom.
Okay. So let's go back. You said you grew up in Najanankumbi.
Yes, Najanankumbi.
Okay, you went to school there as well? Did you go to school? Where did you go to school?
So school, I went to Kampala Kindergarten. Then I went to Nakasero Primary School. Then I went to Greenville High School. Not sure that school exists in Uganda, but the Kenyan branch exists.
Okay.
Yes. It was an Adventist school that had lots of Tanzanians, Kenyans.
Okay.
And guys from Burundi. So what they'll do, I don't know how it works really. They'll just get them from their, like they'll put them on a bus straight from their country straight to the school.
It's like parents getting rid of their kids. You go. You
Let
us have some time.
Yes, I know.
Okay. So it was like an East African campus.
And then at first I didn't understand why God put me there.
Okay.
But then when I look at where I am today, I had to go through that school to get where I am today.
When you say to go through that school, what happened?
It's not what happened. Is
it the experiences or the people?
It's who happened.
Okay.
So while in school, there's this girl, she's my friend. She's called Juliana.
Juliana.
So me and Juliana looked alike. She was more like your shade. She was your shade, I was my shade, but we looked alike, chubby cheeks and everything.
Okay.
And Juliana is Tanzanian.
Okay.
There was a point in my life where I needed to move on from a job here in Uganda.
Okay.
So Juliana, that's why I moved to Tanzania.
Okay.
So Juliana at that time, her dad had passed on. Zay Manyama, may he rest in eternal peace. He was like a huge businessman, like the 27th best businessman in Africa of that time. So Juliana's dad had an uncle, had an uncle who owns Clouds Media Group. Clouds Media, I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yes.
As Choice FM and whatnot.
Yes.
So they're like, you know what, Judy? So first of all, I'm like, you guys, I'm so tired of my job here.
What
like,
are you
I need to
doing
move.
here?
So should I finish there and then come back? I know it's all juicy. So should I?
Okay, let's just know what you were doing here, so why you had to leave.
Okay, cool. So at that time I used to work for Universal Entertainment.
Okay.
Universal Entertainment, we used to do, it's a company that would manage artists. It had the Chili Girls, had Leila Kayondo, you've heard of that? Yes, Leila Kayondo and whatnot. And to be honest, I got the job, I don't know, as straight out of campus, even before, like, you know, straight out of campus, like you're out of campus this week and then you get the job the following week.
Okay. Why did you have to leave?
Why did I have to leave?
Yes.
So, first of all, it was rosy. It was beautiful.
In the beginning?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
I was 22. I had a car. New. They bought me a brand new car. This job, they got me a brand new car.
Okay. What were you doing?
I was the manager.
Okay.
So how do I get the job?
Of all the artists?
Yes, of all the artists. How do I get the job? So while in my Essex back, I used to work for Katuma Sports Center. Like a normal sales girl. Because I know how to talk to people into buying things that they need and those that they don't need, you know? So they sent me to, at that time it was called Worried Telecom.
Yes.
So I go to this guy and I sell to him 6 pool tables.
Okay.
And he told me, he was an old Indian man, sorry I don't remember his name, and he told me, I have never, ever seen anything like this in my life. Like you, young girl, just made me sign
6 pool tables.
A local purchase order for 6 pool tables. Then he told me, once you're done with school, come to me. There's a job here.
Wow.
We could use you.
Okay.
He said once I was done with school, not once I get my transcript.
As soon as you're done.
Yes, once I was done. So I go to Worried. I'm still working with Katumo Sports Center though.
Okay.
Doing my thing, selling the balls, the football, selling the sports kits and everything. So I go back and I'm like, so what are we gonna do about it? And he goes on to say, listen, so the particular moment I don't have space for you here, but there is a friend of mine who's been looking for a manager, someone to get gigs for the artists, someone to take the group to another level, someone who's aggressive, and you're young and you're powerful and you're ambitious and I think you can do it.
Okay.
I was in over my head, but I said yes. But I did not know what the payment was going to be like. Crystal, I get there, and they're telling me go to driving school and learn how to drive.
Okay.
And then they buy me a new car.
Okay.
And then they were giving me, they were paying for my apartment, so I got my own place. Yes, honey. On top of that, I always used to have petty cash of about 500,000 Ugandan shillings. Do you understand what that means for someone who's straight out of campus? A salary was amazing. Do you understand what that means?
That was like heaven, just.
But then I got to a point where I was tired. I was managing girls who were from different backgrounds, and then I was not really managing. I was more like enforcing what the big boss wanted. He wanted the company to be more like a music academy where girls are disciplined. But then you have all these girls from different backgrounds who just want to be stars, and you want them to be disciplined. So I was the enforcer. So the meaning, like whenever I had any rule that was good or bad, I'd receive the blows because I was the one. I was the messenger.
Are you trying to say like you were a babysitter in a way?
To be honest, more like it. I'll be honest, more like it. I was. I felt like I didn't have a good relationship with the people I was managing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to be honest, I had to stand as a manager and be like, those are my decisions, even when they were not my decisions. But I had to command respect.
Yes.
So we were always at loggerheads. Like always, like I was just like, you know what? I'm done. So I put in my first resignation. The guy was like, you're not going anywhere.
And no, I'm thinking, but the money was sweet. From the sound of
You
it.
see, my dad was also like that. But how can you leave that job? Are you mad? Already whispers were going around like, how's she driving a car now? Didn't she just leave campus yesterday? Like my relatives are asking him, did she just get it daddy? Of course my dad just like touch.
Oh, God.
Yeah. You know how like conclusions are always drawn. We observe and conclude. We like to do it for other people, but when it gets to exams, we always fail to make the right conclusion. So my dad loved it because they were like, whoo, he raised her well, she's successful.
Our daughters
What
do
was
well.
she studying again? Business administration. I mean, we have daughters who have done business administration, but they didn't come out like this. What's going on? So anyway, but I told Dad, and I told him I'm tired. I actually lied
You
to
are
him.
unhappy.
I told him. I told him.
Unhappy.
I told him, Dad, I lied. Sorry, Dad, I lied. I was lying. I lied. I told him I got a job in Tanzania, but I had no job.
So
There was no
by
job.
then you'd already talked to your friend Juliana, and you're like,
Yes, I'm
coming.
coming. And that's why it is so important. People think having value is having money, but me, I believe having values is having people who can be there for you, because there are times when money doesn't count. And at that point, I just wanted to be away from Uganda. I wanted to be away from the job. I wanted to be away. Because on top of this, because the girls were resenting me, they would even go to salons that I would go to and be like, oh my God, she's so mean. She doesn't treat us so well. And even when they knew I don't run that company, because I always told them, I always thought to myself, if they thought I was running the company and the boss was not okay with it, that means he would have been like, don't do those things. But the fact that he was also okay with you guys doing that, then of course it was coming from higher back. But of course you don't expect them to understand.
No, of course
so
not.
guess what? I put in my first resignation. He says no. So I leave. I called Juliana. Juliana's like, yeah, twin, come through. Come through. Mommy's ready. We're ready for you. Come through. And Crystal, I pack my bags and I leave. And mind you, at that time, I was like in a serious relationship where, like, this guy had even met my mom, my parents. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So So
you did tell him though.
Yeah. Yes, because my dad was like, if he's also okay with it. Because before we left, he said, I have to meet your parents because we need to kind of like seal this. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I think you need to sip.
We shall sip.
All right. So, he comes, meets my parents. We do a full introduction. And then after the introduction is when I left for Tanzania.
Okay.
So I leave and started life in Tanzania.
And Boo over here?
Yes.
Okay.
So I get there and Juliana, mom, so I call her mom because that's what she's been to me. Mom was very supportive. Juliana was very supportive. So then we go and meet the uncle, Mr. Kusaga. We talked to him. So they told me, Judy, we're going to introduce you, but you have to earn the job. You have to get the job. So we go with they call the big sister. I remember she was in a job. I don't even know how she left Germany to Tanzania, but I know it was not for me, most probably.
Okay.
Yes. So she comes in, we all go, they introduce me. And then they're like, the boss was like, yeah, she can come start interning, and then we see how that goes.
Okay.
I knew what I wanted.
You wanted to be on radio?
I wanted to do something that I love. And I've always wanted to be a media personality. Okay. I'll tell you about that a little bit later on when my dad took me to UBC. Anyway.
Okay.
I love it so much.
But you told me you started on radio as a producer, not as a presenter.
Yes.
But now you're interning.
Yes, I'm interning as a producer. So I'm on Choice FM, Clouds Media Group, the biggest media group in Tanzania. And I'm interning.
Okay.
So, first of all, you're working with people like Vanessa Mdee. You're working with Abby Plajas. You're working with Baby Kabai from East Africa TV. Should I continue? Chris Lugoe, hello? The guy himself who trained Shanice. So it was scary. But me, I knew I'd come to get it. You know what I mean? Because I loved it, and I was like, I want to do what I love. But I'll not lie to you, it was not easy, having to wait, I did a lot of praying, I did a lot of that. And I resigned. As soon as I got in Tanzania, I sent my resignation, I sent press and sent it and closed that chapter. Once and for all, never replied any email, don't even know how they replied. Oh, what happened? Oh, he was still in Uganda. He's still in Uganda. So I'm in Tanzania, I get the job. No, I do the internship. I was really aggressive. And I thank God that he's blessed me with what I call creativity. I know how to, if you give me something, I'll find a way of using it. At first, they were not welcoming.
Okay.
Most of them were not, apart from Vanessa. Many know her as Vanessa Mdee now.
Was this because you were a newbie or because you're Ugandan?
Let me give you, first of all, this story. So I'm in office. My immediate boss, Baby Kabai, walks in. And she's talking to my boss. She's like, hi. So yes, yesterday my car broke down. And he's like, so he interrupts normal programming. He's like, listen, that's our new producer. So she turns and says, hi. Have you, what's her name? I said, Judy. Have you done radio before? No. I said, anyway, as I was saying, so my car broke. And me and Baby Kabai are like sister friends right now.
You had to prove yourself.
It broke my heart, but I was like, it's okay, it's fine.
It probably pushed you
so
to
I
be
put
like,
in,
it's like that.
Yes.
Okay.
So no one wanted me to produce their show because I'd never done it. But Chris was teaching me, Chris Lugoe. So I put in extra work over the weekend because I'd gone to work. I put in extra work over the weekend, talked to the other guys at the Swahili station. So Clouds Media Group had an English radio station, a Swahili radio station, and a Swahili TV station. Okay. It was a whole media house. So I talked to the Swahili radio station, the guys from Clouds Media. I remember his name, Kamal. Shout out to you, boy, if you watch this. Kamal liked me, maybe because I was just not Tanzanian. I talked to Kamal to teach me how to edit using Adobe Edition, how to edit, make jingles and everything, because I wanted to add value to myself.
Okay.
Kamal taught me. I learned. And then one time I asked one of the presenters, her name is Tandy. I told Tandy, hey, can I thingy your show? She was like, yeah. She was a bit skeptical at the beginning. And then Vanessa was like, yeah, just give me all the information, give me everything. So I started producing the hit list, Vanessa's show. And then I'd get clips for interviews, different people, like everything, get it. And then she'd keep teaching me because she's working for MTV as well. So yes, so we were learning from each other. And then she'd get like interviews from Kelly Rock, And then now Tandy was like, I was like, can I work with you? Like, yeah, you can give me. And now people were more open to me.
Because I started to see the results.
Yes. So then I settled in.
Okay.
Yes, then one time I did a show. I produced it so well. Chris, I remember this very well. Chris Lugo held me by the hand, took me downstairs to HR and told her, listen, I want you to give her a contract today.
Bless.
Yes. Shout out to you, Chris Lugo. Thank you so much for believing in me. To be honest, it was so surreal. It was very emotional because I was like, and mind you, I was so Ugandan. You know, I don't know if you understand, you comprehend that. I was so Ugandan. Certain times I'd pronounce things certain ways and you'd hear giggles in the office or in the lounge. Of like,
well, you were learning
pronunciation.
How long were you with Choice FM? Was Choice?
I was there for 3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
As a producer the entire time.
No. Producer for 2 years. Then the final year, I got onto radio with Chinwe Kalu, a Nigerian presenter.
Okay, so that's when you first started radio.
Yes.
Okay, what show were you doing?
It was called Device. It was a gospel show. Sunday. She was so kind to allow me to sit in with her. Let me tell you that.
She was so kind. Does that mean you were terrible?
Because you see, when you work with stars, you don't just go and start sitting.
Why did you leave though? Just 1 year on radio and then
okay, then now fiance comes back there in the picture.
Because what, he had to wait 3 years?
Yes, but he would come in between there. He would come visit and whatnot. So then see, now we had done the introduction. It was time for me to get married. Yes,
exactly. I'm sure even your dad was like,
so, and then he was like, you need to come home, and I was like, no, I mean, it's working out for me here. He's like, you need to come home. But my career was picking off. It was just picking up. It was just the commencement of my career, and I was doing something that I love so much, Crystal. It was not the money I was getting at Universal Entertainment. Yeah. Actually, apart from being able to go to Sylvia Warrior and pick free clothes, it was pretty much the same. This was like a star-studded life. It was different. But I was extremely happy, extremely fulfilled, extremely joyed.
Okay.
I staying with a family that loved me to death. Mom was protective of me. You'd think she actually gave birth to me. Do you understand? Juliana, everybody, and that's where by the JUDITHIANA name comes in from.
Okay.
Yes, because Juliana, we're twins, Juliana and JUDITHIANA.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love you too, Nakupenda. So, yes, fiance starts, you need to come home. 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 And of course that caused problems.
Tough,
yes, now the space is difficult. Long distance relationships are hard. Yes, that was hard. So of course the distance did affect the relationship in one way or another. So I think, so then we start planning the wedding. Yeah, man. So we plan a wedding. And then I'm telling all my workmates that I'm going back to get married. Like, I'm going to go back to get married. And they're like, Judy, how old are you? What? What? Vanessa's like, what? You're what?
So you're
But
leaving
you
this
just started your career in
and you're going home to get married.
Crystal, it took me time. I had to wait. I've just started a career that seems so promising. And now I have to drop it. But then I love this guy. We've been together for quite a while. You know what I mean? And I'm just there thinking. So, you know, sometimes you sense the danger. So I think one time I noticed he became so distant. Like, communication was not the same between us. And then that's when I decided to, I was like, you know what, guys, I'm going to get a sabbatical leave. I'm going home to get married.
Okay. So you decided.
Yes, I did.
I'm losing him. I'm
So then I returned back with my gown, ready to get married. Spoken to the girls, you guys, when are you flying in? Yeah.
Uh-oh. What happened?
So then I come home, and then things didn't work out. And then the wedding didn't happen, and the wedding was called off.
Was this because he had moved on?
To be honest, I think so. To be honest, I tried to understand it at the time.
Who called it off?
He did. He called it off. And
but the whole time he knew you were coming.
I started blaming myself, and I was like, maybe I should have come back earlier. And there's so many other things. I think also, I'm not gonna throw blame at all. I wasn't perfect either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was young, committed, you know? And there's so many times that I showed him that my work was way more important. What are you? Who are you? When are you? You know? So that happened. I stayed with my gown, accepted that.
Do we still have this gown?
No, I don't have it. I gave it to charity. Not sure which bride took it though. I just you know those clothes, those clothes you put together and give them to like charity? Yeah, there was a gown in there. I think they realized it after I left.
Okay, I'm glad you don't have it. But
So anyway, so the girls are asking me, Judy, when are we coming over? What's happening? And I'm like, the wedding is off. Like, what's happening? And I accepted that. I accepted that. And to be honest, we both made mistakes. I'm so sure of it. We both
probably
made
even
mistakes.
grew apart as well.
Yes, the distance was immense. There's a time we took probably like 9 months without seeing each other, and that's huge space, to be honest. So anyway, I'm not married anymore. Served my dad, because at first, when I was having my introduction, I always joke about this.
Because that is a traditional
I said my
wedding.
first introduction. I joke about it. I said when I had my first introduction, my dad was like, "She's too young. You're too young." But I'm like, so anyways, I accepted it happened. But with growth, comes maturity and understanding of your mistakes.
You said, so you're not married anymore.
So I'm not married anymore. Was I married?
Well, in a traditional sense, I mean, legally that can be accepted as a marriage now.
Okay, now, but
now,
then no.
But then no.
Then no. No. So yes, so I moved on. I moved on, and
I'm sure you had some time staying home and crying a bit.
It was
and
difficult.
Yeah,
I dated
hibernating.
this guy since like, I don't know, I felt like it was since childhood. I felt like it was, first of all, I was like, what am I going to do? I don't even know how to date. How do people do that? Do you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, what am I going to do? So, I put the passion and the fire in my work. Good thing, by the time we officially, like, properly, acknowledged the fact that this relationship was gone, I was in... I'd come back already, of course, and I'd got a job with Radio City.
How did you get to Radio City?
Radio, it was Mackenzie.
Okay.
While I was in Tanzania, I was talking to Mackenzie. So you see, you have to lay your ground. You have to set a foundation. So I started making calls. I have a very good friend. His name is Sally. Hi, Sally. I know he'll watch this. So Sally is friends with Mackenzie. Says, Judy, you're going back. You need to start. But the next time, I will tell you about that story of me saying bye at the airport. We had hours of crying with all the girls. Abby,
Vanessa. That was a chapter of your life, though, and a very big one.
Yes, we cried. It was next time, but now. So, anyways, so Sally calls Mackenzie, says, my friend is coming back. Can you hook her up? Her name is Judy, so I talked to Mackenzie. So even when I come back, I call Mackenzie, hey, I'm back, I don't know what. So Mackenzie calls the boss at Radio City and says, hey, so he sets me up for my top 10. My top 10 is like a celebrity countdown. But of course, it's easy for you to tell whether she's with it
or not,
or she ain't got it. So then Mackenzie sets it up. I am ready. I show up, and I did my top 10.
Okay.
So, I get out, and then the PD asks me, can you do a sports show? And I was like, wow, so much for firing me before you hire me. People have no kindness.
Hey, what's an opening?
You know what I mean? Like, so much for firing me. I was like, no, but I can learn anything. And Crystal, that's a fact. People, whoever knows me. Like me, I learn everything. Like you can't tell me I can't do this. You know what I mean? Especially when I'm not able, I can't afford somebody to do it for me. If the only option is for me to do it, I will do it. Let me fail, but I will try.
Okay.
So I said, no, but I could try with some bit of learning. A few days later, they call me. Cleo, what's going on? Leave. Look at my life.
Opening right there?
Yes, so I have to sit in. Dangerous substitute.
Look at her. She's like,
because I knew
most of it.
Because I knew if I get it, I was going to fight to stay. By the Radio City, you were going to drag me out of that office. I was not leaving. I was not leaving. Mind you, at that time, also the relationship was already down. I think the wedding was already off. And the only fire I had in me was to get my life in check. I was like, if this doesn't work out, I pack my things and go back to Dar.
Okay. So you put your all into it.
Yes. Went in, I did it. The bosses, first of all, I'll be honest with you, they didn't like my accent. They felt like my Luzungu was too much. I think it rubbed off. Working with Chris Lugoen, I used to slide a few words, a little bit too much. I learned too much. Instead of learning
the big ones.
Instead of learning how to properly enunciate them, I think I bent them a little bit. So then they're like, okay, a few days later, they call me back and they tell me you're going to sit in. However, we want you to adjust how you sound. We want you to sound more Ugandan. And remember, I was the other side where I did not want to sound Ugandan because they felt the way I pronounced stuff and enunciated stuff was not, you know, yeah. So, you know, so when I came here, they're like, oh, I was like, oh yeah, sure thing. So I did your request, so I did it, I sat in. And then luckily Cleo was not coming back, I sat in, she wasn't coming back, I sat in, she was not coming back. By the time she came back, we were in, darling. We were in it. Thank you, Cleo, for taking your time, babe. I love you. You're a star. You paved the way for another time. So then, so Mackenzie met the call. And then for TV, so I got the radio job. But I felt like the cost of living, I was leaving it in Dar.
You're like,
I was young. What was I stressing about? I was shopping. I almost had a problem. Yes. I was shopping like my money wouldn't stay, but I was making it. In fact, coming back. I actually don't. Coming back, I had so many bags that some had to come by bus. And when we went to pick up the stuff, I remember my ex-fiancé being like, hold up, all these are clothes?
Okay. So coming back was also a humbling experience.
Yes, so
as well.
I had to humble myself.
So how did you get on Urban?
So Urban TV, it's Flavia Tumsime.
Okay.
While I worked in Universal Entertainment, Flavia would come and host a night that was where the girls used to perform at Simba Casino. And that's how I met her. But more like, hi, you know, someone you look up to and you're just like, hi, you know. So Flavia, so I meet her, and where did I meet her when I came back? I don't actually remember. There was a gig she was supposed to be hosting, but she wasn't going to be available, so she suggested it. Then I told her I also want to be on TV. Like, I was hungry. I was ready. She's like, you want to be on TV? Let me call Bush. That very day, Flavia calls. Titi, hello Bush. Hi. So I have this girl. She's from Tanzania. She's raw. She's ready. You can do whatever you want to do with her. By the professionally, please. So yes, you can do whatever you want to do.
I don't think we were thinking anything else, but okay. Okay.
So Bush is like, let her come in.
See what we can do.
Still, Flavia told me, I'm not promising it's gonna happen. You're gonna get yourself the job. And the truth is, you have to get yourself the job. So Bush calls me, tells me, which we need a show. We need a female-related show. So I'm like, don't worry, I need this job. I go back, sit down and write with my broken hat. Write. I remember I had like a show with like 5 features, and Saloon Talk was just
like, okay, like a segment.
Yes. I take it back, and it says this. He circled it like this. Actually, at that time, the name was Saloon Jazz. Before we turned it, it was Saloon Jazz / Talk.
Okay.
And then he circled it. That's the entire show. Build on that.
Okay.
Negotiate salary. So thank you, Flavia Tunsim. I say that all the time. She did. She did not hesitate. She did not stop one bit. She did not. You know how we're always pitted against each other?
Yes.
We're always, she's here now. She's here. Flavia didn't think about it. Like she, and we're not like friends who sit down and braid each other's hair, but she did that for me.
Yeah.
No.
She's done that for a lot of people.
Yes, I've heard. You know. So me, I made sure I didn't embarrass her, and I got the job.
I remember on your social media a while back, I think you were talking about, was it an experience you'd had or an accident you'd had?
Yeah. Crystal just wants us to cry all through this interview.
No.
We're not going to do it.
But I remember that post it was about what you'd been through and how you'd come out on this side.
Yeah.
And I noticed you have a scar.
You know
here.
what they say? Yes, I do.
Is that part of it?
Yes. But you know what they say? Everyone is lovable as soon as they share their stories. Sometimes we're afraid of being vulnerable, like I am being right now. But I'm sure somebody will be inspired or will learn something from my story. So I'll go ahead and share it. It was the 9th of October, 2015.
Okay.
I was hosting an event at KIU. So I'm hosting this event, and so I was hosting it with Dev Dash. So in the middle of hosting it, the stage was too high. It was about 6 feet high, and I'm wearing a very tight skirt, very tight. It got the curves. It dropped the point home, but it was comfortable.
So you could barely walk.
But I do that all the time. Me, I'll do anything to look good. If it means walking on your toes.
I love the honesty. Okay.
Yeah. If it means wearing Spanx that are like a toothpick. To suck it all in. I will do it. For the beauty. You know what I mean? So I'm hosting, the event is going well. And I remember I didn't even want to do that gig.
Okay.
I don't even know why. Because first of all, I've not done so many hosting gigs as well. So, you know, some things you're always so afraid, you're afraid to get in. Like I'm all rounded. I love to try out new things, but at the beginning, of course, it's a little bit
scary, a little bit daunting.
Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's scary. So my boss is like, Judy, we need you to go and do this with Dev Dash because Radio City is sponsoring. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it. So I'm hosting it. So back to the fact that the stage was actually too high. So I couldn't go back down each and every time. So I got to sit on stage. So every time I was done, come and sit. So the DJ was setting up. I think the DJ was setting up. Somebody moved my seat.
Okay.
So when I came back to sit, it was on the edge. So when I sat like this, the backdrop was not like these backdrops. I think KIU didn't really have a budget for this one. Like the backdrop was more like a paper or something. So when I sat with my big bottom, I somersaulted into the barriers. Oh my. And then now, let me tell you, the saddest part about it all is this. people started recording videos instead of helping me, and I was screaming. I was in pain. I know. So while one boss was getting me, the two other Radio City bosses were getting me, putting me in the car as they call for an ambulance. Someone else is telling people to delete your footage, and I was just like how?
That's
how?
The world we live in, no?
What's the right word? Shallow.
How?
Like how shallow, you know? So they get me into hospital. They don't even call my family. Me and Mackenzie have always been close. So Mackenzie came to the hospital. I'm not going to call the family. But doctors are like, no, it's just a sprain or something. So then later on, we do an MRI. So everybody goes home. Everybody goes home. So we do an MRI. And the kind of damage I had, what did the doctor call it? I had an olecranon fracture of the right elbow. It was shattered to pieces, that every doctor that kept looking at my scan kept saying, what was she doing? Some doctor was like, you know what, I'm not even going to ask. But what were you doing? Because I landed on my elbow like this. Some of the pieces crashed into tiny little pieces like this.
Oh man.
Yeah. So then my sister comes in the morning, one of them, Winnie, she's an angel. Yes. She comes in the morning, and this doctor worked IHK. And mind you, I didn't get a cast throughout the whole night, so I was in pain throughout the whole night. Because there was
initially said it was a sprain, right?
Yeah, but then we had to do the, but I was in pain, but they're like, no,
they didn't give you any pain medication?
So they were giving me, but it was not helping because it was, they trivialized the fracture, you know?
Injury.
Yes, they did, the injury, they trivialized the injury. So the doctors come in the morning, and I remember they were like, this is the doctor and the surgeon. I'm like, surgeon? Like, you're going to have reconstructive surgery. And the way he said it, yes, we're going to do it. It's only 5 million shillings. Yeah, just call my secretary and book up. First of all, before you understand medicine, we always gauge how big something is according to what it costs. I was like, yo, are they giving me a new arm? I was like, fam. So the doctor was like, it's surgery. It will take about 5 hours. Tears rolled down my eyes. Then Winnie was like, you need to be calm, Judy. It's okay, it's fine. Luckily, of course, Radio City took full responsibility of the bill. Yes, they did. And so then, so now we had to try and get the best doctor. We made calls, called my dad. My dad was like, we made calls, and then luckily, we have an uncle who is one of the best, one of the best when it comes to like bonds and stuff. So we call him, and then he suggests like the doctor we should use. We go see him. So then they cancel me. They tell me you might not be able to use your right hand for like the next 2 or a year. You have to do physiotherapy every day. And mind you, I started my little business, makeup as well.
By then.
Yes.
Wow. Life comes at you fast.
Gee. I just kept praying. I couldn't use my phone. I became a baby. I was vulnerable.
And you're right-handed?
Yes, I'm right-handed. So I couldn't feed myself. I couldn't wash myself. I couldn't do anything by myself.
Wow.
Oh my God. And imagine you could do things for yourself, and now you couldn't. You had to rely on people. And you know, life has to continue, you know. And why are your eyes teary as well?
You.
So,
we're not crying here.
Yeah, we're not. Look at you. But you look so pretty when you don't cry, so you can cry. Stop cutting onions.
Go back.
So, Krista could not even feed myself. Now they had to tell me to learn how to use the left hand. So then, okay, it's fine. We survived. We're here. Okay.
How long did it take, the healing?
It took shorter.
It took a shorter time?
Yes.
Wasn't the whole year?
No, it was, okay, close to, but
But it looks like you can use your hand
No,
fully.
because the first time, as soon as I was done with the surgery, I could not. The doctor called it supination and pronation, being able to do this. I couldn't do that,
Okay.
and if you notice, I can't touch further. Like this is how far. Like this can do this, but you tell the difference.
See, we can't really
yeah,
tell.
you can't really tell.
So, are you able to write with your right hand?
Yes, but then now I wanted to get back to makeup, but then I couldn't. And then I felt like the clients had forgotten about me. And I think that's the point that I went through a mini depression. It was hard.
But you made it through.
Like, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I had good thing is I did have people around me, a few, but they were enough. I mean, what did I need? To be fed, to be showered, because I couldn't allow a stranger to wash me. I think what hit me is I couldn't feed myself with it, because I thought feeding is feeding, food is food.
Yes.
But then it would fall, and I was like a baby, like it would get all over. You know how you feed a baby and the baby can't? Yeah. That was tough. That was extremely tough. Yeah.
But you made it.
Yes, it made me so afraid of hosting gigs as well.
That's why. That's why.
Yeah. Right now.
But you've overcome that, though.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Hosted quite a few.
Yes, I've been hosting. I've been hosting. Glory to God, and I still give glory to God because I healed earlier than I thought, and my hand got back to working. And I'm glad that He helped me through it, that He didn't take me under. I survived it.
Well, my dear, we're out of time. We are so out of time.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
I've cried all through the interview.
No, you haven't. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for sharing.
I'm sorry for crying, guys. It's I think it's the chair. Someone is cutting onions
It's the
here.
chair, it's the air.
I think it's the
Other
onions.
factors, and the onions from the kitchen. Lemons!
Thank you so much for having me. Oh God.
A pleasure.
I was so much crying.